So last we have Gary Zenker. By day, he's a marketing professional, creating marketing strategies and writing ad and web copy using his words to convince people to buy things they may or may not need. By night, he writes flash fiction and unthrowing paper clips, and facilitates 3 writers groups each month. The Wilmington Writers Group in Wilmington, Delaware, the Mainline Writers Group, now in its 6th year in King of Prussia, and the Self-Publishing for Writers Meetup in Berwyn. Gary.
Who made up that crap? I apologize for the few people who have heard this before, but I thought this would be an appropriate one. It's a tribute to all of you as writers. It's called Critique. I want to write like Tina does, in sentences that flow together in rhythmic perfection. I want to use prose that makes my readers taste the traces of oak in the red wine and smell the slightly sweet scent of burning candle wax. I want them to feel the incredible softness of the satin sheets she describes as her characters make love between them, and I want people to read my words and place themselves in the middle of an argument between 2 people and have that same anger envelope and overtake them. But it doesn't happen. It never happens when people read my work. The members of my critique group stare politely at the double-spaced pages I've handed them, listening as I read the words that have been carefully assembled into complex and thought-provoking sentences. They shift a bit in their seats as I read, but there are no giggles at the humorous parts. There are no nods at the detailed descriptions and no gasps at the plot reveals. These people are friendly and chatty before they read my piece. They smile and ask about my children, they ask about my dog, and they ask about my job. But once we begin the critique, they change. They tear apart my characters, they stab holes in my plot line, nitpick at my word choice, and otherwise unravel my carefully constructed work into a pile of junkyard rejects displayed with no rhyme, reason, or purpose. I'm ashamed, embarrassed, and lost, and still I come back each month, hoping to catch the smallest of compliments or a token of recognition that there's talent that lies within me. So I read my newest work out loud with a mixture of defiance and trepidation. I've placed my best work and skill into the words I've selected. I've gone over it several dozen times, changing the scene, changing the characters, changing the plot. I've subtracted words, replaced others, and then changed them back again. And I know exactly what to expect the moment the first person opens her mouth. So on page 1, Tina, the lady to my left, begins her critique sandwich. I stop her mid-sentence with a short but sharp knife I pull from my pocket, quickly swinging my arm to rest it against her throat. I see the fear in her eyes 3 seconds before they roll into the back of her head, as my knife slices through her skin like carving a turkey. Blood spurts out in an arc, soaking the faces and glasses of the old man across from her. Faster than he can react, I slam the point of that same knife through his right hand, trapping it on my 5 pages covered with the blue ink markings he made while I read my work aloud. I shift behind the man to his left. He writes poetry everyone raves about that I still can't understand. In your critique, I growl into his right ear from behind, my chin pressing against the side of his face and his gray beard. I, he stammers at a loss for words. Just as I suspected. He hates it. I tilt my head slightly and bear my teeth down on his scrawny, wrinkled neck. I clamp down and rip away as much flesh as I can manage, spitting it onto the table. Can anyone else understand what he's trying to say? I know I can't, but there's no one left to answer me. That's because hi, my name is Charlie, sitting across from me, appears to have had a heart attack between the time I sliced Tina and incapacitated Edward's scissors in the hand, knife in the hand. All without a single kind word. How rude. Serves him right, I say. Blood runs off the table and pools on the floor. It's a mess, but that's why you have a waitress, right? I could really use a glass of water about now. She really isn't doing much to earn her keep. I look to the other tables and their critiques. They're continuing without interruption. People are reading out loud while others offer commentary. There's laughter. They're engrossed in the pieces there and ignoring what goes on at my table. No one is even looking our way. I sit back down in my seat and draw a deep breath. Maybe, I speak out loud to the people at my table who can no longer hear me, maybe if I read this again, you'll appreciate it better. I focus only on the paper, channeling my author's inner self. I start reading my piece again from the very beginning, changing the emphasis on some of the words. Yes, this reading is much better. I close my eyes and take a quiet moment to reflect. Gary, are you okay? I didn't hurt your feelings, did I? Tina to my left asks. Her voice is soft and offers true concern. I take a deep second breath before finally opening my eyes. Yeah, I'm fine, I answer slowly, turning my head to look her in the eyes. I just have a hard time with criticism.
That is the end of our open mic night for tonight. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for reading, and hopefully see you at the next meeting.